Hello and welcome to the last day of StarLadder. It is Season 6. This is day number 27, and this is the first game of a day where we see 4 games in total, including one very deciding match. zRage and iCCup will be the first 2 teams that we'll see here today, and with me is Vykromond, my co-caster. Vykromond, welcome back. Hi.
Good to be back, Sheever. I'm happy. So the last day of the season, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Wow. 27 days straight. I mean, that's StarLadder for you. It's just a lightning fast tournament, and then it's the playoffs.
And then it's the playoffs, and we have, of course, like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks until the playoffs are starting. It's the 4th of July, and I mean, that's gonna be something the next 2 weeks. I mean, every day there was content to watch. Every single day, even if there was nobody else doing anything, StarLadder was there.
That's true.
And that's gonna be a bit of a void, I think, in a lot of viewers' lives, maybe, and definitely in mine. Luckily for us, there's gonna be DreamHack tomorrow, and there's gonna be the EMS group stages next week also, and you know there will be stuff to watch.
There will be. I've got some stuff too that I'll talk about a little later.
Okay, so that's I mean, we won't be bored, which is great. Also, by the way, people watching, I'll say this a lot of times today, but I'll say it like, I promise I try not to say it more than twice per game, like at the start and at the beginning or something like that. So, for the LAN finals, official caster will be Toby. He'll be probably at Kiev as well in the Cyber Arena, but I'll be casting as well. Vykromond will be there, Kanaz will be there, Basecamp will be there, K-Pop will be there, and we're gonna try to provide you with an amazing thing. I'm not quite sure what we can call it yet. But we're gonna try to put something together that, you know, just to prove like you don't need a studio to be doing amazing stuff and to be really putting up a good show, basically.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that, and that's the what is it? The 4th through the 7th, the 5th through the 7th.
The 4th through the 7th of July. So it's gonna start on a Thursday, and then I believe there's like group stages. Or well, there's only 4 teams, obviously.
Yeah.
So there's like, for example, there's only 1 game on the Saturday, which is probably the loser bracket finals. There's only 1 game on the Sunday, which is the winner of the grand finals, and then there is Friday and Thursday are the most matches.
Right. Is this the first season of StarLadder where it's been 4 days? I thought it was usually 3.
No, they have 4 days every single time.
Oh, okay. I guess I just forgot.
Yeah, sometimes it's more teams than 4. It has.
Yeah, because it used to be 6 or 8 teams.
We had 6 at some point. We had 8 at some point. It started off with 4, and it went back to 4.
Yeah.
Mostly because I think it was you that's already said it earlier, like, just to have that prize pool, to be making it worth for people to actually travel there, because that was an issue.
Yeah. I think as teams become better capitalized, we might see a return to that. Right now, it's still hard for many teams to actually fund going to LANs because the risk-reward factor.
Yeah.
But as the scene is growing, I mean, even we've seen the stream traffic on StarLadder really pick up overall this season, and I think it'll continue to do so as the game grows, as the scene grows. I mean, I'm sure, Sheever, you heard the news that it's coming out for reals this summer.
Yeah, before TA3.
Yeah.
We'll see. If the traffic, like, how many people would be out there still that want to play Dota?
Tons.
Yeah?
Tons. It's not that there aren't enough invites for everybody. I think there are.
Yeah, there are.
It's that it's that, like, am I going to bother like looking and getting an invite and going to all of this trouble versus just pick up and play?
Yeah, fair enough. By the way, this game for zRage is okay. They want to win.
Yes.
There's still a chance that they will be dropped down to the 15 and 16 slot in, I think. I'm not entirely sure about that. But they want to win, they just stay ahead. Because I believe the number 13 faces the number 2 or the number 4 of Pro Series, while the 14 faces the number 3 Pro Series. So if the higher you are, the worse opponent you get.
Yeah, and there have been some pretty good teams that have come through the Pro Series too. It's not like it's a free win by any means.
No, for sure, no. And we see Train Protector. We saw Train Protector earlier today in the Dota 2 Super League. Didn't really work out. He got called the worst, or one of the worst hero to pick if you're playing pubs. I have to admit, I played 2 pubs today. I picked Train Protector, but doesn't matter. I lost both games, so it is no guaranteed win.
Were you playing him as a support?
Yes.
Well, in pubs, the correct solution is carry Treant.
Oh.
Try it out. It's pretty hot shit.
Okay.
Obviously, in professional, Treant Protector cannot be used as a carry, but
It can be
just
used
get
on
stacks
offlane.
of move speed and then damage, and you're good to go.
True. And I mean,
Um,
offline Train Protector still something that we sometimes see. But I
yeah,
don't think that
definitely.
zRage is going to do that. I mean, they have a Bane, they have a Train Protector and a Gyrocopter. I think that's going to be a pretty solid, very safe tri lane.
Yes.
Magnus probably going mid. And yeah, one last offlane to be picking up. iCCup though. They pick up Anna, Shadow Demon, and a Kunkka, and a Keeper of the Light. Now they could go greedy, could pick up another support and they just go, or another carry and just go for 2 dual lanes and a lone root offlane. But already that tri-lane is looking pretty nice as well. And they could actually run it aggressive if they want to.
They absolutely could. But they could also, as you said, run the Shadow Demon Kunkka dual mid. They could even run something like Undying Keeper of the Light, which we haven't seen in a while in the offlane, and Lone Druid solo safe. So there's a lot of good stuff that they can go for. I want to talk about Treant really quickly. So in the Dota Super League, one thing that we saw that was interesting in response to Treant was the fact is that the Treant buffs your solo lanes a lot, but the tri-lane in which the Treant is a tri-lane that basically cannot kill you. Treant Protector has no way of killing you. He has a mediocre slow, and he has a defensive living armor ability, and maybe the stealth, which nobody takes that until much later. So, if you know that the tri-lane contains a Treant Protector in it, you can do things like put a very greedy, like somebody who normally wouldn't be able to offlane, but can because the tri-lane contains a Treant Protector. Or you can do an aggressive tri-lane and just pressure that heavily. And that's something that a lot of teams aren't really responding to the Treant Protector with yet, but I think we saw the evolution of it today in the Super League, where you can either do greedy jungle farming, which I think is what LGD did, or you can just do offbeat offlaners. We'll have to see what iCCup
They did both. They had
Yeah.
Chen very greedy in the jungle. He was very farm misery.
Right.
That was, and yeah, there was an offlane lifestealer that was able to stay alive.
Right, exactly. Because again, how is Treant gonna kill Lifestealer? It's impossible.
Yeah, for sure. And we've seen Enigma picked up by zRage. So that's going to be an offlane for them, I would guess. Slash jungle hero, obviously. And there is a greedy lineup. Slark. On iCCup. I don't think I've seen Resolution play that guy before.
Yeah, and Slark's a difficult hero to play, honestly. Pounce is such an incredibly strange ability. It's just, we see people who don't have that much experience with Slark, even very strong professional players, just miss pounces that they probably shouldn't, simply because it is such a wonky practice requiring ability. That said, I like this lineup. I mean, Slark in the mid, very dangerous against whoever, I guess Magnus. Magnus can get completely destroyed by Slark, hypothetically. And then they may actually... No, they are going to run the Magnus, but I was thinking maybe they want to go with something non-traditional. Maybe run like Magnus solo, Bane mid, Enigma in the jungle, and then Treant Gyro. But it looks like Magnus mid. And then you have the Lone Druid solo safe and the aggressive try. I really like this iCCup lineup.
Yeah, and by the way, zRage, of course. I mean, they play with a stand-in today.
Oh,
Normally
yeah?
we see Sharfik mid, and now Sharfik has picked up the Enigma, so...
Yeah. Not that Enigma can't mid, but...
No, Enigma can definitely mid, but it's... yeah, like, you want to have him in the jungle and not have Magnus somewhere out in a bush where he can't do anything. So, yeah, interesting to see them picking up these roles, but then again, we've been saying it this past week, if you pick up stand-ins, you abide by their rules. You let them play what they play best, and you adjust, because you have got that extra synergy, and you just have to make sure that your stand-in is playing to the best of his capabilities. So, yeah. That's gonna
be, I believe when they ran wins before, because this is the second. I think he was Magnus that time as well. So
okay, well that will
be
it's interesting to see if you can get those RPs off.
Yeah, I think the last time it wasn't. I don't remember if it was really his fault. Oh, was he the guy that missed the RP and everybody got really mad in chat? I think that was zRage.
What was it, zRage?
They had an OD. And he Astral imprisoned, and the idea was that the Magnus would land the RP as the Astral imprisonment was coming off.
I remember near the Roche pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he missed it only by about a quarter to a half second, but that's killer. It's killer.
That's killer. But apparently zRage has forgiven him.
Apparently they've forgiven him, yeah.
Because he's standing in again. Oh. Yeah, you're right. Oh, I remember that. That's such a sad thing, too.
It was a sad, sad moment.
Yeah, let's see.
Wait, was that the same game that... I think it was two different games. There was a game where a Magnus used RP instead of leveling it, And for once, you're usually really optimistic about the players, more so than I am, but I had to defend him. You were like, there's no excuse, and I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I remember too, because he said like he had to press O before the upgrade and he didn't press O. I was like, why would you press O? Yeah. I think it was the same.
I think it was the same game. Well, you know, obviously they trusted him. They're using him as a stand-in again, so hopefully he'll have a less error-prone game this time.
Yeah, we'll see. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, right?
Yes.
Let's see if zRage can do it. If WinZ can redeem himself, because that's gonna be his goal.
Oh crap! They're gonna get a first blood. Pounces up.
Oh, and that's gonna be Inquisitor. He's totally blocked in also because of that disruption there. First blood. Very nicely done. Very secure. They came there with the entire team, pick up the carry of the opponent team. I mean, for Inquisitor, it doesn't mean that much. I mean, he doesn't lose any extra gold, or you know, he has to just run back. But it means so much to iCCup.
Yeah, I mean, it's extra gold. Everybody was there, so everybody got the AoE, a little bit of AoE gold dose as well. Not that much XP, obviously, because you killed a level 1 target, but nonetheless, it'll be nice that early flying courier, which will be great for Slark to, you know, keep spamming that Dark Pact and pounce if he wants to.
Yeah, surprisingly, he doesn't do that, though. Like, I was expecting an early flying courier as well, but the courier is still on the ground.
Yeah, maybe he'll save for boots, because Shadow Demon's actually quite slow, 295 base, so the other option is to get early boots and just be a very scary roamer.
Could be definitely potential, and they are doing what you said that they should definitely do. I mean, go for that aggressive trial lane. So for zRage, we do have Inquisitor, the one that already died. He is playing the Gyrocopter this game, with Android on the Train Protector, already picking up the Living Armor, of course. It is JOTM, wow. You can follow him on Twitter, apparently. On the Bane, and on the mid lane we see Sharvik, solo, mid Enigma, up against the Slark, which is actually pretty okay, especially with those islands. Look at that harassment already. That is so incredibly annoying. And last hitting, of course, going with the islands, very nice as well. And he's just pushing with this, by the way.
This is really smart from zRage. I think we mentioned at the end of the draft that Magnus would have a lot of trouble with Slark, and so it makes a little more sense to use something like Bane or Enigma. So I really like this. I actually think the Enigma mid is the best choice here. I was talking about Bane mid, which would also crap on Slark, kind of, but if you put Bane mid, you end up with an extremely weak safe lane, and the Gyrocopter ends up in a lot of trouble. With this, they have a slightly stronger safe lane that's very, very defensive and can make sure that the Gyrocopter doesn't die again. Plus, they have a favorable matchup in the mid. So, really smart laning from zRage here.
Yeah, and of course, then the stand-in, WinZ will be playing the Magnus on the top lane. That's the last one there, as the courier will bring... Oh, careful for the courier. The pounce could be there, but no, that's just a bottle for the Enigma down. I mean, the harassment is here, and it's really hurting Resolution right now. Look at him taking the damage. Malefice, he pounces away, though. He will be able to Dark Pact it off, actually. If he actually would have picked up Dark Pact, then he would have been able to do that, but he didn't. But oh well, he had his last regen use. The courier is on his way with the bottle. But
yeah, this is going to be a tough lane for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Resolution on the Slark in the middle, struggling a little bit now against this Enigma, but hopefully he'll be able to pick up the pace, especially once he hits 6 and has all of his skills up. Then in the tri-lane, we have Always Want to Fly on the Keeper of the Light. We just Zik on the Shadow Demon, and Jackal as this carry Kunkka. Actually, they're going to go for Inquisitor once again. There's the Gush.
Torrent up on 2, and that's going to be the Bane going down. Android had that living armor on cooldown, actually. Bit of a shame there. And kind of awkward that he actually walked right into there. Of course, he went for the lead cheat and he did get it off, but he went right into the torrent. That's something that you can expect. If someone's disrupted with this trial lane, there is a simple follow-up that you can expect every single time. Illuminate and torrent, they will be there. You do not stand next to the disruption because you will get torrented.
Exactly. And in the top lane, Magnus still having not the easiest time, but at least he's not dying. He's probably not in that much danger of dying until 5, and even after that, Magnus should still be okay. Problem is, 4 last hits to the 17 and 10 that Mag has here, but it's still a more favorable matchup than he would get against Slark.
Yeah, and he's getting the levels. That's the most important thing for him right now. I mean, yeah, he's not getting the last hits. That's very tough to do versus the Lone Druid anyway, as a melee hero. I mean, most heroes lose against the Lone Druid later on in the game regardless. A lane, I mean, and yeah, just getting the levels is all you can ask for right now. And when he's level 6, he'll probably rotate, try to make something happen, maybe bottom if they think they can. They do have a very strong teamfight lineup, zRage has. I mean, you've got yourself and an RP and a black hole, and then a cooldown over the top. Overgrowth after all that happened to just hold everybody in place and pick someone off. And if then someone tries to escape, you still have a Fiend's Grip to hold that one in place as well. The only trouble is they only have one real damage dealer, which is Inquisitor, so he does need that bit of farm, and he's not really getting anything right now. He's only got 7 last hits for himself, so he's basically on par with the offlane Magnus.
That's a great point. In a lineup like this, where you have this enormous wombo combo potential, you still need something to actually do things. Like Black Hole, even if you drop a Midnight Pulse or something and you get the full Black Hole for its full damage, that actually won't kill anybody. RP definitely won't kill anybody. Oh, nice job of Mag here, completely deflecting the gank attempt. Oh, wins, really?
Yeah,
well,
really.
He transferred the Nightmare to the Bear, which was smart. I don't know why Magnus chose to transfer the Nightmare to himself, but...
He wanted to sleep.
I don't
know.
It's so early, but it's not early there. It's like 5 p.m.
True. Actually 7, I think.
7,
yeah. 7-ish. But yeah, no, it's not too early, and it's a Friday night.
Right. But as you were saying, I mean, the gyrocopter badly needs farms because...
Android. You're so in so much trouble. Here comes the Soul Catcher Torrent. Illuminate not even charged up, and it's not even needed. Jackal gets the kill. Very simple. Of course, I mean, they knew that Bane wasn't there anymore because he showed himself top. Inquisitor was actually smartly all the way back because he just already fled and just thought, you know what, I'll just move back a bit because I don't think it's safe.
Right.
And they just pick up the Treant Protector very easily. iCCup taking the lead here for sure. I mean, they are winning on all 3. Well, I say that they're winning on top and bottom lane. Resolution is level 6.
Yeah.
16 for 3.
I would say they're definitely losing this mid lane, especially Resolution is going to mostly not even spend time here. He's going to mostly leave, and they're going to right off the mid tower because Enigma will probably solo push it down. That said, if he can go get kills on, for instance, Magnus, who does not currently have the mana, okay, he's going to get the mana. We'll see if he manages to escape. It seems like no.
No, that's gonna be winds going down. No chance for him to escape.
He needed to drink the first charge of bottle the instant he got it, basically. Because then he could at least skewer, but...
Missed mid, didn't come home. Oh, and meets him on the bottom lane. Rocket Barrage. Maybe they can get Witch's Zig here. Inquisitor chasing him down. He has a Soul Catcher on him, though. He has to be careful, because here comes Resolution. Gets a pounce off. And Inquisitor is the one that's going down. It is Bane that's also in a lot of trouble. The Torrent comes out, and that should be another kill. It is Witch's Zig that gets the last hit on that one, and then you only have one hero left in this trial lane. It is Android. He does have the Nature's Guise, but he does not have mana to cast it, so he's just going to try to run. Yeah, they said... Oh,
that's pretty smart.
Yeah, he's just running for his life right now, but here comes Resolution. Pounce. Nice dodge. This is just a tree. He's just running. Torrent misses. Nightmare helps him keep alive for a little while longer. There's the living armor. An Android tree at its finest. Gets himself away.
Yeah, so that could have been worse, but it wasn't good. I mean, they're up 6-0 now. iCCup just... They really responded. They saw that this tri-lane was relatively weak at actually fighting. It's a very bad clashing tri-lane. Bane does next to no damage. In fact, right now, Bane does actually no damage because he took Enfeeble and Nightmare. Like, okay, Nightmare is the damage over time, but let's get real for a second. Like, it's almost no damage.
Yeah, no brain sap is just... You can't really help out with that next, like, kind of bursty, damagey ability. And that's what you really need if you want to have some killing potential there. But so far they have a protecting ability. They can do that. But the moment they try to go aggressive here, as we see Resolution tries to go for the Knight, doesn't get it, though.
Yep. No surprise.
Yeah, he could be a bit ballsy as well. I mean, he had the living armor up. Takes the tower. He's got 1k gold, going for that fast mechanism, which will really help their team because at some point they probably just want to go for 5-man because that's what their strongest point lies at. 5-man Dota.
I agree. Once they get the mechanism, they're probably going to have to try to pull iCCup into bigger fights and kill the Kunkka quickly. Kunkka, once he gets boat, which is going to be pretty soon, if he activates the boat and then gets black hold, if he placed the boat carefully, it's just going to interrupt the black hole and turn the fight around completely.
Oh, Inquisitor, he dodges the Torrent. Rugged Rush goes off. Jackal might be in some trouble. In the meantime, Lone Druid actually goes down top. That was the black hole, and then, well, just a black hole used actually no RP, and on the bottom lane, nobody ends up dying. But black hole used to kill off the Lone Druid.
Yeah, and that's a good kill. Mag was farming very, very well. And they probably get the tower off of this too. I don't think iCCup are going to rotate massively to try to cover this.
Wow. With the tower going the way of Enigma as well, look at that net worth difference. Enigma really ahead here. Oh, Disruption. Comes a Torrent as well, but again, he dodges it. The timing on Jackal twice in a row now, not too good, but that Illuminate Picks him up, so Android, careful there, goes for the Nature's Guys, will be invisible, as Bane will end up going down. The Brain Step was there, but it doesn't really matter now anymore. Sentry Ward, he rocks right past it, they saw him walk in there, but no, they cannot get him. That was a level 3 Illuminate already, by the way. That was, of course, a bit too painful for a level 4 Gyrocopter. This Keeper of Light is higher level than the carry of zRage.
Yeah, this situation with Gyrocopter is incredibly problematic. They need to find some safe place for him, maybe mid. Oh wow, Sharfik in trouble
yeah,
too.
Sharfik will end up going down. When Z tries to get himself away, tries to TP himself out, he will be able to do that, but yeah, leaves, I mean, Sharfik was the one with the highest net worth. That was a very important kill, because also on levels, he was doing really well. He was level 8, and they just picked him up with 3 heroes. So Always Wanna Fly, for example, level 6 already. That's a big difference. Look at the level differences.
Yeah.
Supports for zRage, still level 3.
It's the tri-lane just went so poorly, and we were talking before about the Treant Protector and how you handle him, and one way is to put people up in his face, and with this extremely strong, aggressive tri-lane, iCCup just managed to dominate that lane. The other 2 lanes didn't go that badly. I mean, Magnus got levels, Enigma got everything, but the tri-lane is a serious problem. We run the risk right now, or zRage runs the risk, of landing the black hole, landing the RP, and still losing the fight because they have no damage.
Yeah.
Also, Mag is even with the death, he's gonna hit Radiance terrifyingly quickly, and I would say 70% sure he's going Radiance.
Yeah, looking at his gold, he hit 2600. What else do you want to have, right?
Yeah.
And
sometimes
with that
people
Radiance,
just save.
yeah, with that Radiance, you imagine like zRage, they have that team fight. If that bear just stays alive during that team fight, everybody of zRage is gonna be down to half HP. And then, I mean, yeah, iCCup will be able to survive through that team fight maybe soon as well. They don't have a mechanism though, that might hurt them a bit. And maybe when they have that, it will be a lot easier. But I think by the time that zRage can get that perfect team fight off, everybody of iCCup will be tanky enough to at least take the most of it. I mean, you can actually not really count on that perfect 5-man RP, 5-man black hole, 5-man cooldown. So yeah, three would already be very good, but then I'm not sure if they can kill everybody off. In the meantime, we have got iCCup. They are looking to go somewhere mid. They will be trying to kill off, yeah, the Vayne first. Torrent comes in, and that's going to be a very quick death.
They die so quickly.
Level 3 Vayne.
And this is how little...
level 3 Illuminate.
Yeah, and this is how little living armor matters when you're getting hit by 3 people at the same time and there's a Soul Catcher. Yeah. Let's keep in mind, the way that Soul Catcher works, it adds another instance of damage for every damage that you receive. So actually you take out basically 2 instances of the living armor with every single hit that you land. And also Illuminate, I mean sure you can block 50 damage, but it's, you know, it's
a lot more than that,
yeah.
In the meantime, Sharfik's still trying to push. I mean, he can't really... Like, that's a downside from having not really, like, something like a Slark mid or, like, a Templar Assassin. If you do well on those heroes, you'll be able to steamroll and try to find kills. Enigma's not one of those heroes. He is gonna maybe try to do something to Jackal, but he is gonna be killed off here because the Disruption Torrent comes in. He tries to run. Actually does a pretty good job, but behind there's Resolution coming in. The Pounce hits and Sharfik. What can he do? Illuminate, that's gonna be a kill. And, I mean... That's just tough. He made sure that Inquisitor got out alive, though. I mean, he did buy some time, and the tower did go down. I mean, yeah.
Exactly. I honestly think Sharfik has been doing really well overall. Even though he's gotten deaths, they've mostly been in the pursuit of something useful. And that last death, I mean, he got his team away. He managed to stick to it and get the kill on the tower. He actually got the destroy. That wasn't denied at all. So that's a big, especially now that tower kills give like just insane amounts of gold. Yeah. You really don't want to get it denied, even more so than you did pre-patch.
Yeah, we do have the gold graph going the way of iCCup. I mean, 11 kills in favor, even if they're 2 towers behind. Still makes up for that gold difference. And experience graph looking to go the way of iCCup, of course, as well. We already talked about that, but it's tough right now for zRage to get back on that horse, and they kind of need to, like, I think they just need to go 5-man Dota right now.
I agree, yeah. Magnus, here's the problem for Magnus right now. He just got his arcade boots. He's at 250. Lone Druid will actually hit Radiance before Magnus hits Blink, which almost you start wondering what the point of Blink is, because unless you're in a fight with which the Lone Druid is not involved in at all, he's going to disable that Blink by just putting the bear near you.
Yeah, and then you might as well not buy a Blink, maybe.
Just wait for probably the still hole. Will. But yeah, it's tough. It makes it like a lot less useful. A lot less useful.
Oh, maybe hope that there's trees around so that Android can walk in when he's level 6, go for that overgrowth.
Yeah.
I mean, there is potential, but they are going 4-man mid right now. They're leaving Visitor to farm solo bottom.
This is smart.
Yeah,
he needs levels.
He needs levels. He needs farm also. I mean, he is the only damage dealer for his team. The question is, will zRage be able to do something here to these people with the 4 of them? I mean, there is a pretty decently looking Kunkka there.
Maybe they get
well, zig will be able to go down there. Demonic Perk's still up on Sharper, but he gets the last hit out, even if he is slowed. But nicely done. That was actually just a ras, and I think that could have been prevented by if zig just moved further back. But
maybe. Actually, zRage might have been able to go for more, but there was a really good torrent from Jackal. He's been quite on point with these torrents. Even like, I mean, obviously the ones that Shadow Demon sets up are easy, but he's gotten a few blind torrents that have been very strong as well.
Yeah. Especially the one with the first bot, for example.
Right. First bot was great.
Yep. Oh, they find themselves resolution, but he will be able to pounce himself away. Did they have any detection, by the way? Because of course,
they
I mean, if
really
you're
bothered yet.
No, I don't think they have. Nope, they don't.
It's interesting because iCCup actually got very early detection solely for Nature's Guise, which is it was the right move because they got killed from it.
Yep. And there's not even the the main ability that you would think, oh my god, we now need to have protection because like Vendetta is here, or there's a bounty hunter, or there's a Ricky. No, it's just Nature's Guise. It's not really.
Nature's Guise is slightly underrated, I would say. People think it's bad, and it is kind of bad, but it's got some uses. On a team with Magnus and Enigma, I mean, it's kind of theory crafting, but just imagine putting that on your Enigma, and then he doesn't really need a blink to initiate, or likewise for Magnus.
If they can get a good initiation with it, then that's awesome. The only downside is you need trees for that. Disruption 4,
you need trees. Yeah.
Some trouble. He gets a demonic purse as well. Forces to screw himself away. That Illuminate would have otherwise killed him off.
Right. Like, for instance, this mid standoff, Nature's Guise is completely, utterly useless.
Yeah, you can't go for a backstab with it. You have to already stand there and hope your enemy pushes in, and then you go from behind and take them down. I mean, the downside also is that it's pretty mana intensive, and at level 1 it just lasts for a very short period of time. So you have to already know that your enemy is incoming.
Yes, yes. That's totally true. Wynn's in trouble again. I don't think Resolution can get the kill here, but it's just making sure that the Magnus can't really be a factor. And the Radiant's done, by the way. Yeah,
there's the bear with the fire aura. Winsy gets a living armor.
15 minutes. It's pretty good timing.
Yeah, and iCCup with it. I mean, we know that zRage is waiting for one to get some more farming Visitor on his gyrocopter that is, but now iCCup is done. They're go for Visitor. The Torque will hit this time. Sig Charge tried to help out. There's a black hole. Hits up on 2. Illuminate will fly through though. Is there enough damage? Cooldown comes down as well. There is no overgrowth just yet, but the boat actually misses completely, but gets some nice aura going. In the meantime, Slark still end up going down to the Magnus, but Magnus also to the Slark. That was all on the bottom lane, so those two weren't in the fight. They just killed each other off. RP was used for that, and that is putting zRage in a bit of a trouble situation.
They needed the RP on the stack because they actually had a good initiation there. We talked about the boat versus the black hole. If you get the black hole before the boat, you stand a decent shot at just killing the Kunkka before he can boat. But in that case, iCCup were unpursuable because he cast the boat and then just retreated through it. So if they chase, they get stunned and they can turn it around. So it was a good usage, but yeah, they needed the RP there really badly.
Yeah, and now, I mean, the black hole was used, so that's a very long cooldown right there. It is level 2, which is great, but it's still a very long cooldown to have 2 more minutes, while the RP, I mean, it has a shorter cooldown, and you would want to have it still, like, in between, because if you have such a high team fight capability, there is, like, for your enemy team, Sharfik might be in some trouble here. Resolution, go for some farming, actually, he'll be able to TP himself out. But, I mean, there's for your enemy team, like, this window of opportunity, when your AoE ultis are down, they can push. And they have now the lineup to push as well with the Radiance there. And the Shadowblade Kunkka.
Yeah, I mean, Shadowblade Kunkka, extremely standard. Radiance Bear, it's a choice, and I think in this game, because I mean, 15 minutes is a very good timing for it. So, Mag is going to be very scary. I mean, think about how much HP, for instance, Bane has. 834. Going to be tearing through that at 50 a second. It's not, he's going to die pretty fast just to Radiance damage.
In the meantime, looks like iCCup want to get further ahead before they start pushing down tier 2s. Roshan is the call. We have got old tier 1s down for both teams, by the way, so towers are even, but the gold graph still in favor of iCCup. Experience graph, same story, obviously.
Yeah.
And this thing Visitor farming fast enough. He's going for BKB. That will help a bit.
I don't know how much I like the BKB actually. There's the main things he has to worry about are just getting blown out of the water by people like Kunkka and Lone Druid.
Oh, pun! Blown out of the water because there is a Kunkka and a Slark. Ooh!
Wow, I don't know how I keep doing this. It's always accidental too, so you're always like, you always point it out. It's nice skewer actually.
Yeah, but you can still get some Demonic Purchase. X-Marta Spud also on top of a Torrent. Here comes a boat. Winzy he lands an RP before he goes down. Cooldown comes down still. Overgrowth there as well, but there's no follow-up. They needing Visitor for that damage. In the meantime, Bane gets picked up on the sidelines as well. The Illuminate still chopping him to pieces, dominating. Keeper of the Light as Slark kills up the Tree and Protector. Will now set his eyes to Sharvik. Here comes Inquisitor, but he is too late. He is the only one left alive, and he will be backing off and see his tier 2 fall, and actually GG disband. Or GG, just
Hopefully
GG.
not.
Let's hope not, because zRage has got more games to play today. iCCup as well, by the way. But first we're gonna see 2 new teams, as in for today at least. It's Power Rangers versus KP. That is the match of today.
Yeah, because KP really needs that win actually.
If KP wins, they go to Kiev together with Mousesports and Alliance and Virtus Pro. If KP loses, Quantic goes to LAN finals together with Mousesports, Alliance and Virtus Pro.
Yep. Yeah, it should be definitely interesting because that does make a difference for the playoffs. This game, zRage made the best of a very bad situation. I think we talked at the beginning about the Treant. My gut feeling is Treant is going to settle down as a later round pick. If you pick him first 2, I know that DD forces this all the time, and maybe it'll work for DD, but I feel like for a lot of other teams, if they want a Treant, you should try to pick him up a little later. Because if you take him first 2, iCCup immediately responded to this, right? Like they were like, oh, they have a Treant. What we're gonna do is put somebody right up in his face. And their lineup made it extremely difficult for zRage to do anything. zRage had the best possible lanes considering their lineup, but even with those lanes, they had an extremely difficult time, especially early game, especially in the tri-lane. And Enigma and Magnus early on, what are they gonna do to save a tri-lane? Like they're not Nature's Prophet. They can't just flip it around.
No, they're both heroes that need those levels, need a bit of farm as well. That's why normally Magnus is put in the mid lane. And I guess if you're gonna go run that Treant safe lane together with 2 other people, then you have to have an off lane and a mid lane that can carry you through it, that can help you win at least those 2 lanes, because you're not gonna win that bottom lane.
Yeah. The only other thing is this Force Staff on Enigma. I saw somebody in Twitch chat sort of saying that it wasn't a good pickup. I want to quickly note the Force Staff was actually kind of cute because it's a blink that doesn't get cooldowned by Radiance, A, and B, it's a blink that you can use on other people. So in that last fight, Sharvik actually almost saved Winzy, because Winzy had skewered out of Midnight Pulse and something else, but he was still purged. So there was a torrent incoming, and Sharvik force-staffed the Magnus out of it, so he got safe from that, but he was still too slow to actually escape. Yeah. So the force staff was neat. Again, I thought a lot of their in-game decisions were pretty good. It's just they really struggled right from the beginning on a strategic level, and iCCup were executed well enough to turn that into dominance.
Yeah, I fully agree. We are going to see, of course, the next game. This is the last day for the group stage of StarLadder. It has 4 games in total. This was game number 1 of the 4 games that we'll see. We're going to head on to game number 2, which is Power Rangers taking on KP. Let's see who will be the stand-ins for KP, because that's always interesting to see. And let's see if they can actually win and secure themselves a spot to go to the LAN finals in Kiev Cyber Arena. So stick around, more Dota 2 coming your way in just a moment.